Well, the course is very thorough, very informative, and very helpful. A lot of things that I've been driving this thing around for a little bit and another one before this, and thought I wasn't too bad behind the wheel. But obviously, the things I tried today, I've learned a lot about how to back it and how to handle it much better.
I want to get down the road, not having a time where I'm anxious all the time over what's going to happen. I want to go out and be happy when I'm doing this. I think maybe this shirt doesn't say that, but it does. Yeah.
Happy camper.
See, a happy camper. I want to be a happy camper. And you can't be a happy camper when you've got so many things that come up that you don't know quite what you're doing. And you don't know a good resource that you can count on that's going to be consistent. And I think that's certainly what sent me to the internet to see if there was a company like you folks. Because I really felt there had to be some training for to drive. I was a director of a human resource department, and one of my jobs was to find CDL people to drive our trucks for our industrial site. And not all of them were very good. But the point is they did have to get a CDL license, and they at least, had some semblance of how to take that big truck down the road. But I can't imagine taking these big units out. But what I want to do is be able to take my camper out and just have a great time. And yes, some of those things you talked about might happen, but now we have some idea, okay, that's probably what's happened, let's do this. Now there's other things we've done too. We've bought insurance that helps us with if we need repairs on the road, that kind of stuff. But this is the safety thing. This is being safe and being alive and being able to go out for a few years and really enjoy what we've invested in here. Yeah. And a key thing beyond the fact that you're a good trainer, you're a good teacher, is that you do take away something where you can go and you can re-reference it. Yeah. And we didn't have to stand around here today, because so often when we go to something about this, I'm standing there and trying to take notes, okay? And then afterwards we're trying to read them. Is that accurate? Or what was that note for? The fact that it's there, we could relax and just listen and take in what was going on here today. That was important.
Table for reference for future.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, yeah. I think that's a big one. But I mean, there were a lot of little tips you gave too that we just haven't gotten anywhere else. Right. That it's going to make it a lot easier for us. But certainly the driving, the actual experience and getting behind the wheel and turning it around and backing it up and doing things like that.
Yeah, because you've never done any of that.
I've never done any of that. You can tell, I'm sure. But, I'll get experience, but I now know the concepts. And I mean, we can take it down to the place near us there, and I can practice breaking up some more and do some of that kind of stuff. But now I'm confident that I could roll it out, take it down there, try it out, do it, and go back home. That's special, and I will be driving. Yeah. And parking and doing all those things. I want to be involved. I don't just want to be someone who's sitting in the back seat. Yeah.
Take the course. I really would. I would recommend it.
It's well worth it. It's more than worth it. Absolutely. Take the course. What you'll get back in the end is amazing. If something happens to your coach beyond the fact that you could be injured, okay, the amount of money it costs these days to have things fixed, and what it would do to your insurance and all of those things, not even a consideration for the price of this. I mean, somebody might look at this and think it's pricey, but it's not. It's really not. It's definitely worth every penny. I think the pricing's right. I think the information is right. And as I said, my sister, having gone through it, she's extremely enthusiastic about it. They just feel really comfortable now when they go out.
There's no price you can put on peace of mind. I don't think.
That's a good point.
If you're going to enjoy your trips, you want to have peace of mind and be comfortable going wherever you're going, and feeling confident that you're going to have a good time and not have to worry about surprises, and all that goes with that.
If the dealer were to back you, that they would actually possibly be able to include the price in the vehicles and bring it back, and what would cost people $10 a month. It's insurance. It's very cheap insurance. The dealer, come on, take it. it could be a deal breaker for them on several fronts that they wouldn't even know about. I really think that, and that's what came to mind when she was saying that. I said, well, I'll just go down Myers and hook up with them instead. I mean, I think it would be very wise for them to do so, yes.
Dealer walkthrough, both times we bought from them, very quick, and both times the young guys, and I think they were sometimes almost guessing about what they were telling you. They don't have that much experience. But both times I walked out of there and I felt like I wished I had gotten more. As my wife said, you almost feel like you should be writing down notes and taking notes, because a lot of the stuff is not in the paperwork that you get. The first unit we had, I had paperwork with things about slide outs and all this kind of stuff. I looked all over that clipper, I couldn't find a slide out anywhere. But it didn't fit. It didn't even fit the unit.
Yeah.
The walkthrough was a young kid who didn't seem to understand everything that was going on there, so no. We spent a fair number of hours here, but every minute has been worthwhile and valuable and informative, whereas the walkthrough probably spent an hour and a half, and you walk away with like, okay, I still have a lot of questions. So that's, to me, this is much more valuable than any walkthrough I could do with a dealer. It would do themselves a great favor by having either you or somebody else provide a service as an option or whatever that people would be aware of, that would make their experience with their RV much more enjoyable and much safer situation. So,
and that takes you down the road a piece. Somebody comes in, they buy their first RV. Okay. They go out, they have a bad experience, and it collects dust, as you said, in the yard, or they sell it off and they never go back to RVing. They take a course, they learn how to use their RV, and they go out and they enjoy. And guess what? Now they go, I think I'd like something a little bigger. And they go back and they buy another RV. So they have repeat customers. I think that could be a definite thing that could happen for them. Yeah. Well,
again,
for me,
I'm much more comfortable.
yeah.
I think when I go home and back into my driveway, I'm going to have a better sense of where to start, and, the jackknife and so on and so forth. Whereas before I was kind of guessing, and I make a lot of stops and starts, and I never kind of got it where I wanted it to be. And so I'm very much more confident with handling the vehicle than I was before.
Yeah, I am too. And I mean, now I can think of going into Troy, New York, and and not sweating even when he's driving, because now I know what I need to do in order to make those turns, or do what I need to do. Because Troy, it's very trafficy, and the roads are not very wide, and you're just getting off the throughway, and you go into Troy, and it's woo! You're right there. You're in all this traffic.
Yeah, to go through there to get to our daughter's place in New Hampshire.
And we have to do that all the time because she lives up that way. Yeah. So the next time we go that way, I intend on driving.
Good.
Essentially, that's a huge one, is to be safe. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Probably an overall safer driver. I mean, there are things here that you're learning that are good for driving the truck down the road too. Right.
Yep.
I would definitely recommend it, and I would recommend it because I think that traveling with a trailer or with a motorhome, it has a lot of technical aspects that you just can't learn through experience without possibly putting you out there in an unsafe situation. So I believe that it can save lives, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely, it could be a lifesaver for people, but it certainly would make people more comfortable in their units, and more comfortable driving down the road. So yes, I would recommend it.
We talked a little bit about price. At the retail price, is it worth the money at that price?
Yes, it is. It's worth it. You're talking a lot of safety here, and a lot of good times out there where we're not going to be stressed.
Do you think that this will impact your ability to get to the fun faster and have fun versus fighting with it?
And not worrying about it, Not worrying about getting to Troy.
Or anywhere else.
And maybe you're very young, but as you get older, you guys are young next to us, anxiety comes on pretty quick. So you really want to stay out of that kind of situation. And that's a health issue as well. If you can go out and be more relaxed in the whole situation, then it's going to be a healthier thing for you to do. You're hoping it's healthy. I mean, we like to go and We do a lot of hiking and things like that, that are good for us. But we don't want to be stressed on the drive out and have a problem.